This is KGW News at 5.
We made it through the storms, but a lot of people across the Portland metro area aren't ready to breathe that sigh of relief just yet. There are still trees down and power outages and plenty of ice still coating sidewalks and roads. And we've got a long way to go until things are back to normal for some folks. Thanks for joining us for KGW News at 5. I'm John Adams. Let's first go to meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, the storms have stopped for now. So when can we expect to thaw out in the area?
Well, we're going to already start to see that thaw begin here the next couple of days. We saw temperatures above freezing earlier this afternoon. We topped out about 43 degrees. Now, we are going to be thawing out throughout the metro area. One place that's going to take a couple days is throughout the Columbia River Gorge. This purple color you see, that is an ice storm warning that is going to be in effect until tomorrow afternoon. Still another round of freezing rain is going to be moving in basically along I-84 over the next few hours and into tomorrow morning. Temperatures throughout Hood River will start to be above freezing by tomorrow afternoon. That's the good news, but throughout parts of the Dalles, it's going to take a little bit longer to warm up. Speaking of the Dalles, here's a live look over there along I-84, temperature of 30 degrees. Here in the metro area, that's a good sign. Temperatures above freezing. That's just rain falling down. But what's interesting, all that ice and snow, that's from about a week ago, if you remember. This is when this all started. Then we started to see another round of ice Tuesday night and another round basically Thursday afternoon and a Friday. So we're done with all the freezing temperatures, at least for now. We have this upper level low that's going to be ushering in more of a southerly flow. That's going to warm us up heading into the overnight hours with temperatures above freezing. Overnight lows will be in the mid to the upper 30s. So we'll gradually see all that ice and snow kind of melt away. Basically slowly thawing out here later on tonight and into tomorrow. Rain showers all day Sunday to start things off, at least the west side of the state. Still seeing the freezing rain in the gorge. If you avoid I-84 here the next couple of days, that's probably well advised. Daytime highs topped out right around the low 40s. So about 25 degree warm up today from what we were seeing when we first initially saw the ice and rain arrive basically a week ago. As we look along the Oregon coast, you were pretty mild earlier this afternoon with temperatures right around 50 degrees. As we put in the futurecast into motion, again, those showers will continue tonight and into tomorrow. But again, early tomorrow morning, midnight and into the about 5-6 o'clock hour, you'll be seeing some snow showers throughout parts of the gorge, light accumulation for snow, but the big threat is going to be all that freezing rain that will continue throughout tomorrow morning and into the afternoon. We'll put this into motion. You can kind of see the transition by later part of the afternoon. Tomorrow, you'll go from freezing rain to rain showers begin. In between now and then, it is going to be very slick along I-84. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, still about 4,000 households in the dark in the Portland area today. PGE says they're still working to get power back up for everyone. Well, in the past week, they've addressed power outages affecting around 300,000 households. But if your power has been out for a while and you're still trying to figure out when it's going to be back on, PGE says they can't really give an estimate right now, but they expect most homes will have power again by the end of the weekend. Well, the impact of the storm is still putting lives in danger. A Southwest neighborhood is now begging PGE to do better after they were trapped by downed power lines that are still keeping some stuck inside. Sydney Dorner has that story.
In this neighborhood behind me in Southwest Portland, some residents have been trapped inside their homes since Thursday. With down power lines and trees, they say they just want answers on which wires are live. Neighbors on Park Hill Drive and Park Hill Way in Southwest are frustrated. Power lines had them trapped when trees fell and took out their power Thursday evening.
The tree came down and the power lines started snapping, and my neighbors right behind me, a tree came down in their backyard and a wire fell, and it's now drooping between our houses.
The downed tree kept residents from being able to get in and out of the neighborhood.
We had somebody fall, a traumatic event. They ended up in the ICU, trauma ICU at OHSU, and now we couldn't get an emergency vehicle through here if we needed to, or people get out if they needed to.
The tree blocking the neighborhood was eventually moved, but the two streets still have downed power lines throughout their lawns and backyards. Residents say the recent death of a family due to falling on power lines has scared them.
We're just begging them to let us know which wires are live. We'll take the tree down ourselves. We'll get rid of the tree for you. We've got chainsaws. We're ready to help.
PGE says people should assume any downed or sagging line is live, urging people to keep 50 feet away. PGE responded in a statement saying they are taking appropriate actions for public safety and responded to the scene Friday night. The tight-knit neighborhood says they don't expect to be moved up on the long line of homes that still need power but do want answers. Residents say there are still 2 families stuck inside. Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
Well, it's been a long and busy week for people responding to power outages and a lot of other emergencies. The storm has caused an increase in calls for those downed power lines and trees, as well as fires, floods, and so much more. We spoke to the frontline workers responding to those calls. While they say this is their time to shine, and many of them love helping people out, this week's conditions brought some unique challenges.
We're dealing with the cold, it's difficult to drive, it's difficult to access calls, the equipment doesn't want to work the same, and then also the run volume goes up. It's very tiring. I mean, there's a lot of tired faces around here in the morning and really through the day, but I think behind those tired faces are some pretty big smiles because you get to do what you signed up to do, and there's some purpose in when we go out.
Well, they say they're really appreciative of all the people who've shown them kindness over the past several days. Well, TriMet is still struggling to get back to normal after the storm. They say they're having to chip away at the ice that hasn't melted from MAX lines and platforms. MAX service is still suspended on some lines. The green line is still down. Shuttle buses are running in its place. The blue and orange lines are partially suspended, mostly on the east side of Portland. The yellow line is running as normal, and the red line is down in most areas, but that's because of the scheduled construction on the line. Most of the buses are back to their regular Saturday schedules, but some lines are suspended or detoured because of road closures or hazards in the road. Check your route before you head out the doors at trimet.org. Well, the weather is causing ongoing problems for Amtrak as well. Tonight, all Amtrak service is suspended between Portland and Seattle because of a landslide covering the tracks south of Kelso, Washington. Amtrak says they are using buses to transport passengers between Portland and Seattle. They expect to be back up and running tomorrow morning. Well, many businesses all over the area have also been impacted by this series of storms. Some closed their doors because of ice, no power, or no water, and others because of serious damage. Catherine Cook got a look at how a few of the stores are handling it.
Here in downtown Lake Oswego, business owners at several stores say it might as well have been raining on the inside after a pipe burst last week. Now, as they prepare to reopen, they're worried about another setback. At City Home in Lake Oswego,
it's been really hard.
When it rains, it pours.
The entire store was flooded, 3 inches of water streaming down from the ceilings. It was heartbreaking.
Owner Kim Paulette says an upstairs pipe burst late last week at the start of the cold snap. Upholsteries soaked, artwork water stained. At first, it was all overwhelming.
But then we all snapped into let's fix it mode.
Since then, she and her staff have been working nonstop to dry out and salvage what they could. Next door, at Maple Boutique,
we came into basically rainfall inside of our space.
Owner Stacy Barnes waded through the same crisis.
Coming from the ceiling.
Bins of clothing soaked in floodwater and half an inch on the floor. She's thankful for what they could save and is bracing for what they can't control.
We know that there's probably going to be some damage likely to the walls, the floors. We're not quite sure yet. They're still assessing that.
Barnes says worst case, the building may need major repairs, which would fall to the owner. But that would also mean her business and others would likely have to close again for a time. She says that's why this weekend is so critical.
We are going to temporarily open back up for the weekend because we miss our customers. It's been over a week since we've seen them.
Barnes says customers will get a $20 gift certificate with every purchase. And at City Home, they'll offer everything in the store, damaged or not, at half off. Both business owners overwhelmed by the community support.
Especially here in Lake Oswego, the trees falling on people's homes.
What they want to do is support the business.
People reaching out to want to help, and it's been such a blessing.
In Lake Oswego, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, the storms are over for now, thankfully, but there's still a long way to go to clean up all the damage, and we'll be covering it throughout the next few weeks. Head over to KGW.com to check out all of our storm coverage so far and more ways you can help out people and businesses that have been impacted.